Hello dear creators, welcome to class. So we will learn how to make this Zara cap with detachable loop design. So here with me, I've cut out the fabric for the Zara cap, and it measures 26 inches by 18 inches width, 26 inches on the head circumference, and my marco measures 3 inches by 18 inches, 3 inches for the width, the length is 18 inches. So without wasting time, we'll go over now with our Zara cap. So what I folded my fabric into two, then I made a notch to locate the center. My marco I folded into two, then I made a mark at the center. So right now, open up my fabric, the right side facing my work surface and the wrong side facing me. So I'll align the center of the fabric with the center of the marco. Then I'm going to sew down. I'll first of all pin it down to avoid it shifting. Okay, we all know how to make our Zara cap. So I'm just pinning it down now, just to help me hold it in place. So we'll be sewing on that allowance there. Okay, but make sure you're not sewing on top of the marco. Make sure you're not sewing on top of the marco. So just sew it down straight. I'm sewing close to the marco but not on top of the marco. Then after which I'm going to adjust it, so the sewn part will be at the center. So as I always say, this is optional. I don't like seeing that thread showing on my Zara cap, so I always adjust it. So after which I'm going to fold it into two. Then I'll take my hair circumference. I'll be closing it on 11 inches, which is 22. So I'm going to close it. Then I'll sew straight down. So I made a slant curve over there. I made a little curve. So I'll cut off the excess fabric. I'll take it to my weaving machine. I'll weave it. Then I'll just make my gathers. We all know how to make our gathers. Then our Zara cap is ready. So the next thing now, we'll move over to the design. So this is how it is. So for the design, I have two fabric here. This is for the loop, which measures 7 inches by the length 28 inches, 7 inches by the length 28 inches. I have the foam. The width of my foam is 3 inches. If you look at this one, you see how I made this one. So I'll be showing you how to achieve that. The width measures 3 inches and the length is 23 inches. So this was how I was able to achieve the other one. So I'll just get my needle and my thread ready. So fold it in like this, then start sewing it down just to join them together to get a round shape. So just sew it from the beginning to the end. Once you get to the end, secure your thread, then cut off the remaining thread. So after sewing, this is it. Once you get to the end, cut off your excess thread after you might have secured it. So when I get the fabric, I measured out 2 inches because I won't like to have any obstruction when we are closing it. So measure out 2 inches, then you go ahead to place the foam. So I'm pinning it down now just to help me hold it. Okay, I'm pinning it down. So this is it. Okay, this is how it looks. And I'll be sewing it down now straight. So whatever thing I'm doing here, I will repeat it to the other piece of fabric and the foam. Remember, the loop is 2. So I'm sewing very close to the foam, but not on top of the foam. So be careful not to sew on top of the foam. Just sew close to it to get a smooth, so that it will be very smooth. You won't be having any excess on the fabric or on the loop. So I'm going to repeat the same thing on the other one. So this is how it is. So after sewing the two, this is it. So right now, bring the two together, start pinning it, then pin it down together. Okay, so right now we're going to be sewing to join them together, but we are not sewing on top of the foam as I said earlier. So when I sewed mine before, I had a little allowance between the foam, so I'm going to come in a bit. I'm going to come in a bit so that by the time we flip it to the right side, the allowance will not be showing. So the sewn line will not show. Okay, so come in like 1/4 inch. Come in like 1/4 inch, then you sew straight down. So just be patient, so you won't sew on top of the foam. Be patient not to sew on top of the foam, please. So just sew. So I'll just go ahead, I'll sew it straight down. Then we'll move over to the next stage. So at this point, I would advise you shouldn't rush it. Don't be in a haste to sew finish. Okay, just patiently sew this to join them together. Okay, to achieve a neat finishing. So as you can see, I'm almost done. Yeah. So the next thing I will do now, I'll cut off the excess fabric, then I'll take it to my weaving machine, then I'm going to weave it. So I'll cut off the excess fabric, take it to my weaving machine, and weave that edge very neat. So after weaving it, this is how it is, very neat. So I'm waiting with my glue at the center. I just open it up, I applied a little glue, and I went ahead to press it down. Okay, I press it down. So the reason for this is to bring it, to make sure there is no space, much space in between the two loop. All right, so after this, now I'm going to be closing it up. I'm going to be closing up. We get it, just fold it into two, let the right side face the right side. As you can see, fold it to the right side, then you close it up. You sew it, take your hair circumference. I took mine on the 12 inches, then I close it up. So after closing it, this is how it is. So cut out the excess fabric. So the reason why I close it on the right side, so by the time we attach our design at the back, it will cover up the rough edge instead of the rough edge to be inside. Okay, so it will just be at the back of it. So I'll set it aside, then get the fabric for my rose design. So which measures 7 inches for the width. If you have enough fabric, you just cut out up to 60 inches, or you reduce the measurement as you want. So I'm going to be joining them together. I have 3 pieces of fabric. I'll just join them together, then after which I'll take my measurements. So I'm done joining them together. So here with me I have my crinoline, and the total length of my fabric I'm using is 45. I didn't get up to 60. I didn't want it to have enough too much join. So I just joined it once, then measure about 45 inches. So I place the crinoline at the center, as you can see. Then I'm pinning it down. So I'm going to be sewing on top of it, not from the center, but from the edge, towards the edge. I'll just sew 1/4 inch away. So the reason for why I'm sewing on top of the crinoline is just to give it more firmness. So you can decide not to. So this is it after sewing. So I'll just go ahead and make my gathers. I'm passing my needle from the uh, allowance that we have at the edge, not on top of the crinoline. So just make your running stitch all the way down, and go ahead and form your rose to your desired shape. I'm still making my gathers. So after you get to the end, just go ahead and pull your thread. So this is it. This is how it looks. So I'll just go ahead, and we all know how to form our roses. So I'll just go ahead and form my rose. I'll just go ahead and form my rose, and I'll secure it by tacking it together. So this is it. So this is me tacking it down now. So just tack it down as neat as you can. Make sure that the inside is very neat. The thread is not that visible at the inside. So tack it so you know that you've secured it. It's very firm. So right here, I'm almost done. I'll cut off my thread. Then I'll show you the finished look. You can embellish with any accessories of your choice. So, but if you're just making this as a headband for a client, just close it on a 12 inches, 11 inches hair circumference. So this is it. So I'll just wear it on the mannequin for you to see how it looks. So you can either rock either the headband alone, or you rock it with the Zara cap. So that is it. If you have any glue stain like mine, just use your machine oil to clean it up. Apply a little machine oil and it will go off. Okay, so whichever one, just wear it. So thank you very much. I wait to see your own practical. See you all in our next class. Bye.